Workers are threatening to blow up a factory in central France if their demands are not met. Let's go straight to RT correspondent Charlotte Dubinsky now joining us live from Paris. Good to see you, Charlotte. Can you tell us, though, why are these workers threatening to destroy their workplace?
Well, basically, they say that government-backed talks to try and save this plant in central France have completely failed. And they say that this now is their only option to bring to the attention of not just the French public, but the car makers that buy parts from this car, that their factory is going to close unless some orders are secured. Now, those car makers that they're trying to pressurize into solidifying sales to are Citroën, Peugeot and Renault. And basically what they say is because those companies won't say for certain whether they will continue to buy products and how much they'll buy from this car maker in central France, they can't find a buyer for this plant. So this plant is under threat of liquidation, and they only have about 2 weeks before it will close, with a loss of 279 jobs. Now, in protest of this, they said the only thing that they can do is to start cutting up the equipment, and that's what they did on Thursday, and they say that they will do that every day until that May 23rd deadline. And they also say that they have booby-trapped the factory, threatening that they could even blow it up. That's how extreme they feel about the loss, or the potential loss, of this 279 jobs. Now, they've also called on the incoming president, Emmanuel Macron, to do something to save their factory. It's not the only factory he'll have in his inbox as he becomes president on Sunday of France. If you may recall, he also was at the Whirlpool factory in Amiens, which is his hometown in the north of France, during the campaign trail, where he was heckled and booed by the factory workers who were under threat of losing their jobs to workers in Poland. This is what happened.
When I learned that Emmanuel Macron was coming here and that he didn't plan to meet the employees, that he didn't wish to come visit the strike action, but that he was going to be sheltered in God knows what chamber of commerce, to meet 2 of 3 people, I decided to leave my strategy meeting and come straight here.
These are 2 of the issues that face Emmanuel Macron in his inbox as he becomes president on Sunday. He has promised to get the French economy moving again and to tackle unemployment. But factory workers now in central France and in northern France will be looking to him to do much more, and to do it very quickly, if he is going to seal the divisions here in France.
All right, RT's Charlotte Dubinsky. Thank you. Germany is bracing itself for a new reality as Angela Merkel's friend and colleague, French President François Hollande, is leaving office. Hollande is, of course, being replaced by Emmanuel Macron. Now, many German officials rooted for him in the French presidential election and have welcomed him with open arms.
Yesterday was a great victory for Emmanuel Macron, my colleague as a finance minister and a personal friend as well. I am tremendously happy for him.
I'm very happy about Emmanuel Macron's great success.
Despite the warm welcome, the new French president-elect has been critical of what he sees as Germany's unfair advantages inside the Eurozone.
Germany benefits from the imbalance within the Eurozone and achieves very high trade surpluses. Its economic strength in its present form is not acceptable. There must be a rebalancing.
And here's what the newly elected French president is worried about. Germany's trade surplus for 2016 was record-breaking, rising to over 250 billion. France, in contrast, running a trade deficit, totaling almost 50 billion euros. And one expert we spoke to told us Germans won't stand for paying others' debts.
German citizens wouldn't be particularly fond of paying the debts of other countries. However, I think that the German government knows pretty well that they have to support Macron to make his government a success. My personal opinion is that Mr. Schulz will have a hard time to convince voters to pick up the debts of other countries. And I think also that the Christian Democrats and Mrs. Merkel is clever enough not to make any substantive moves before the election.